What are you hearing now?
I'm close with a guy who is very close to LeBron. And this guy spent a lot of time with LeBron over All-Star Weekend in Chicago. And as soon as Shannon and I did this topic on Friday, this guy that I'm close to immediately texted me and he said, no. He's really considering this. And he was way, and it's got a lot of Y's on the end of way before Boogie came out with it. And the guy I know said it's a plan of his, but not yet a goal. But he emphasized he's really, all caps, considering running for president of the United States. So we kicked it around. I told you I'm open to this because I could really see this happening, and I think he would have a chance to not only win, but to do very well in this position. I'd want to hear his platform. I'd want to hear a lot more. Obviously, his life and times would come under enormous scrutiny, and he would have to withstand the scrutiny, but probably he could. And in the end, I think he would have a real shot here. And I'm not talking about next year. I'm talking about down the line. I don't know.
32, something like that.
Somewhere. I just think we saw Ronald Reagan as an actor get elected, and then you've brought up all the other guys who became various governors.
Steve Largent.
Yeah,
an
Steve
athlete.
Largent. There's a good one.
Bill
Oklahoma.
Bradley is the most well-known.
Yeah.
He even ran for president.
He did.
The great New York
So
Knicks.
there's a history of this, and it's a pretty strong history. So I wanted to bounce this off Mr. Broussard, who has covered LeBron almost from the start and is very close to a lot of people around LeBron. Your gut feeling on this?
Well, I'm being told, like you said, I'm close to his camp and everybody, that they're saying, they're denying this, that, there's any thought of running for president, that he's talked seriously at all about it, and even denying that it would appeal to him. Just the foreign policy, dealing with all of that.
And by the way, the other day when he was asked about it, he pretty much scoffed at it.
Right. Now, so that's what they're saying. My personal feeling, I do feel like LeBron could run for president. I don't know if he'll run, but I think he'd be a really good candidate. And I think he'd be a good president. I'm talking like 12, 16, 20 years from now. And look, after everything looks like he's going to go forward and be this great business mogul when he's done. Maybe he'll own a team. Owning a team, being a business mogul, you're going to deal with other countries and nations and things like that. So maybe, who knows, over time, it will appeal more to him. I have an interesting story because, as you know, I did maybe 5 or 6 cover stories on LeBron for ESPN the magazine early in his career. I did a lot of stuff with him. His story from 5th grade to 8th grade. He lived with another family of one of his best friends in Akron. And I talked to them many times. The father of that family told me a story that when LeBron was 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade, I think it was 7th grade, the father's father, so I guess he's in the position of a grandfather, went to pick LeBron up from junior high school that day. The principal comes out to meet the grandfather and says to him, this kid, meaning LeBron, could be president of the United States one day. Now, this is when LeBron's in 7th grade, so I don't know what year, mid-90s, whatever that is. Yeah. That's the appeal he has. And I think he'd be a great candidate. I mean, as you said, now with President Trump, I mean, it's kind of opened it up where you can see a lot of people becoming president that you thought before you had to be like a lifelong or at least a long-time politician.
Or in the military. You had military background. You were a general like Eisenhower or something like that.
But he leans left, but he's very strong on family values, and he's an example of that. That would appeal to people on the right. He's a straight-up entrepreneur and a straight-up capitalist, which would appeal to people on both sides of the aisle. So, and he's been, his life experience, a lot of people can relate to. Obviously, we've seen a ton of athletes go rags to riches, but not the way he has in terms of all that he's become beyond being just an athlete. That's unique. So he's been poor, and now he's incredibly wealthy. He's been, he's black and been underprivileged, but now he lives a very privileged life. Like, I think he could, and I said, he's a straight-up capitalist. He could relate to, a lot of people could relate to his story. And I actually, if LeBron runs, I don't know that he will ever run, but I really believe if he ran that he would win.
Agreed.
What about your boy on the ticket, VP? Okay,
Now
now
you could be a detriment now.
You know, I don't see it happening because look, you open yourself, you subject yourself for scrutiny that's unwarranted. You know, maybe he said
I mean,
something.
it's warranted for this.
Yes,
but not,
right.
in general,
One thing I'd also
Yeah.
say, though, look, every year or every election cycle, the bar for personal, not that his behavior, we know his personal behavior isn't bad, but it's lower and lower.
No.
I mean, look at Trump's back.
No. It's lower for them. It's not lower for
That's fair.
us.
That's fair.
Because we gave him the perfect candidate in 2008. And when they couldn't find nothing, they said he was from another country. Because there's no way a black man can live in America for this long.
I agree. You're
That's
correct.
fair.
So, no, the bar is lower for
Maybe in 16, 20 years.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
I just don't see it happening, Skip. Anything's possible. Because at the end of the day, for the most part, what is elections about? It's about popularity. You become a senator, you become a governor, you become a mayor, if people like you. Hey, look, Skip, we can do all this foreign policy and this and that. At the end of the day, do I like the guy I'm voting for? Mm-hmm. Do I like the guy? Do I like the lady or him or her? Do I like them? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Can they make our country better?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
If he ran, you think he'd win?
A lot of times when you run for political office, and also who you're running against, that has a lot to do with it.
And timing does, because you're
Yes.
coming off what? What was the
Right.
previous regime,
Yeah,
right?
because I think President Obama's administration gave rise to President
did.
Trump's
It
administration.
did.
Right.
Because here's the thing, the pendulum swung so far. They're like, no, we got to come
Okay.
back. So now we got to swing it way back over here. So now they want to come back to the middle somewhat. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see
It will.
how that plays out.
It's all about when he would elect to run, and I just think
All I know is I'm getting the role. Because homeboy's getting the White House now. You don't need no qualifications. So I can hold a role.
That is what it seems like.
So I'm getting the role.
But that's a good point. I don't know. I'd like to be involved as well.
How about
Communication director. Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to the White House.
No. Oh, no. Because we can't have you talking bad to the president.
well, I know what would happen. I would get audited.
Oh, yeah. We digging in the books.
Yeah.
That's
We
so
going back-
funny.
I don't know when you got your first job,
Yeah.
but we going all the way back.
Skip, be ready. Yeah, that's definitely the case.
Chris, what you
I
wanna
like
be?
thinking about it,
But
though.
I think I would vote for him. Again, I got to
Yeah.
hear it, but again, I think he could do this.
I think he'd be great. Again, I'm being told definitively, no way.
Yeah.
But I think he
We got a
could win
small
if
role
he
for
ever
you
did.
too, Chris. We got a small
He
role.
would want to
wanna
do
roll.
it. It's
I do
fun
wanna
to
roll.
kind of just picture. It's fun to think
Always
about.
did
It's fun to
want to
think
go.
about.
Always did want to go.
All right, Chris, thank you. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.